Hi, everybody. How is everyone doing today? It's a surprise for me. Excuse me, it's Tuesday, the 23rd of June. I just wanted to come on. Sorry, my throat's a little dry. I just wanted to come on and do a little live stream here because there's a few things that I've been hearing, excuse me, over and over. And one of them is affecting me. So I wanted to address that also. And like it says, you know, I'm not as scared of threats, basically. Rich, how are you? I've known Rich for probably 40 years. Hi, Cindy. Penny Day, what's happening? I don't know why my voice, my throat is so scratchy. Haven't really talked that much at all today. Been alone. Lisa C in the house. Tamara. Hi, Tamara. Hello, Flippin' Frozen. And Bobby Pizzelli. How are you, Bobby? Land Shark Picker. How are you doing? Cat D. How's it going? Adam, the record crate man himself. How are you, Adam? Nacho flipping business. Thanks for coming in. Thank you, everybody, for coming in. Thank you, everybody, on the Facebook side also. Bobby, it is getting better. I'm finally able to take ibuprofen. Just takes a couple hours for them to kick in, but it's weird because it's all numb where the injections were. But oh, my camera keeps shaking and rocking and rolling here, and I don't know why, and all of a sudden it's doing that. Hey, Melissa. CDL Picker, why would anyone hate you? Oh, it's easy. It is so easy. I guess I have this talent of pissing people off. Because for one thing, I don't stand for shit. And this is definitely not a show for the kids. But I don't stand. I'm 61 years old. I speak my mind. I don't. Yeah, I'm a team player. I've been a manager most of my life. So I'm a team player. I know how to get a team going and working together. But I don't like bullies. You know, people like that. He collects toys. I do collect toys. I really do collect toys. Been only doing it for 30 some odd years. But anyway, let me start off with what I was going to talk about first. And that is, stop screen. Okay. There's been a lot of talk lately. Hold on one second. I'm sorry. As most of you know, I'm a real estate broker here in the state of Florida. Not that I practice much lately. I sell a couple of houses here and there. I just sold my rental house. But there's been a lot of talk and a lot of what I feel is wrong misinformation going out. This is one of the reasons when I was hot in real estate and during the crash, 07, 08, I specialized in short sales, helping people get out of a bad situation, letting or allowing people to exit what I called exit gracefully and not letting the banks win. It seems that we're in that position again. Thank you very much, Penny. Thank you. Because of the pandemic, people are laid off. And then many banks said, do a forbearance. Typical forbearance is they'll take the payments that you're not going to make. And they started this in May or April. They'll take April, May, June payment and put them at the end of your loan. So you don't have to come up with all three payments, because they figured this would all be over this month in June. So people said, hell yeah, I'm not working. At least, if I collect unemployment, that money I can pay and buy my groceries, pay for my lights, my water bill, all that stuff, so I can, the roof over my head is good. Now what I need to sustain life, I'll have that much money coming in. Well, a lot of people got terminated permanently, being furloughed and then terminated permanently from their positions. And there's some of these people, God forbid, it's bad to say, but some of these people are still waiting to get unemployment. And there's still, I believe there is still to this day, a no eviction and a no foreclosure state right now in the country. I might be wrong. They might have changed it, but then again, they might have extended it. You see, what happened 2 months ago, New York was the hotbed of the virus. And people say, why? It was because all the international flights, where's the first place they land? If it's not New York, it's Chicago or Florida or Atlanta, Georgia. Those are your major hubs. So New York was the hotbed of the virus. All of a sudden now, this week, because things are up 50% back to normal, Florida is now the hotbed of the virus. Now, when people from Florida go into New York, now they're told to quarantine for 2 weeks. It's crazy. It's reversed. I think it's because we went back too fast. And now there's been 800 to 1,000 new cases of virus for the last few days in a row. And granted, yeah, they're doing more testing. As a matter of fact, I have to go in for another one next week. So, yeah, that's one thing. Okay, so now people are still not working because of that. And now the banks, many banks, are coming to these people and saying, okay, June's here. We need April, May, and June's payment. How are you going to do that? Well, no, I did a forbearance. Prove it. Where's your paperwork? Well, they said I could. Okay, you have to get it in writing. You should have got it in writing. But so you didn't. What can you do? That's not the end all be all. Oh, and I'm sorry, this camera is like shaking like crazy. I've moved it a little again, but it's shaking. Because what happened now is some people have lost their job. Some people have been able to get a new job at a lower salary. So now what are you going to do? Now maybe you can't afford that mortgage because you had to get what you could get for a job, and it's not where you needed to be. So now what are you going to do? Would you go to the bank and say, hey, I need to refinance? And the bank will say, okay, we need you to do all the paperwork and everything. And I don't suggest anybody refinance unless you're going to save 2 points on your mortgage minimum, and you're still going to be in the house for 5 years. Other than that, it's not worth it. So the bank gets your paperwork and they say, well, you don't make enough now to qualify for this much money. So what are you going to do? There's help out there. You just have to ask for it. There's a lot of people that are saying, I'm threatened to be evicted. I'm threatened with foreclosure. The courts are backed up with foreclosure cases a mile long, they said. The bad thing is some of the landlords have gotten these SBA loans and all these other loans to help out people, but yet they're still demanding money from the tenants. So they're looking to double dip. Very illegal. Can't do that. So instead of looking for people like, and I'm not even saying myself, instead of listening to your neighbors, listening to people online, listening to anybody, I think I'm a huge AM radio junkie. All right. I like AM radio, but now talk radio, I'm a talk radio junkie. Typically it used to be all AM. Now it's FM too. You could find, and you could just do a Google search for an attorney in your area that will offer a free consultation. This way it doesn't cost you anything. And tell them what the problem is. I've been evicted, or I'm threatened to be evicted. Can they still do this? This is my situation. I believe attorneys in their respected county and state should know the new rules, the current rules on eviction and foreclosures and that, and they should be able to help. But to ask anybody else is crazy to take that as rock solid. You want real legal information. Even if Florida has 1 million attorneys, for some reason, I have no idea why. If you look, when I first got down here, I looked at the yellow pages. At that time, they still had one this thick. Half of it was attorneys. I guess people sue everybody every day. You should be able to go on and find at least a half a dozen attorneys that will give you a free consultation. Just because you get a notice, all right? And the other thing is, a landlord just cannot knock on your door and say, hey, I'm evicting you. You got to get out in 30 days. They can't do that. There's a paper trail that has to follow, a 3-day notice to quit, a 7-day notice to cure, and then another 3-day notice. That's in Florida, and I'm sure that's going to be in every state. So they have to follow the paper trail. They have to follow the law. Because you own the building doesn't mean you can go in anytime you want. They have to give you a 24-hour notice to the tenant, I want to go in the building for this reason. Not that I'm coming in, I'm giving you 24-hour notice. It is now 9 o'clock. I will be in there 9 o'clock tomorrow to check the gas meter, to replace this, to do this, whatever. You just can't come home from work one day and find that your alarm's off or whatever, or going off, or the dog's in the bathroom or something because somebody came in the house. That is not right. That is not legal. And don't let them tell you otherwise. Search for what is going on in your state. Search for the real information and get free legal consultation. And then the attorney will say, well, you have a case, you don't have a case. There's an office that the city hall has just set up for this. We recommend you go see those people. There is help out there for what's happening. When you talk to and listen to some of the big real estate people, they're all in line now waiting for the next bubble. And a lot of you might be on this website called Nextdoor, where it's neighborhoods. It's like a Facebook marketplace, but it's all neighborhood information. And if your neighborhood's too small, it has neighborhoods around. Somebody in my neighborhood posted just the other day, why are so many homes for sale in the neighborhood? What's going on? Because those people maybe did what they thought was a forbearance. Now they're looking at June 15th, last week. They couldn't come up with 3 payments. If your mortgage is $2,000 a month, you couldn't pay 1 month. Now they want $6,000 all at once, when they should have just wanted your June payment, and the other ones should have went on the end of the loan. Bank of America, I understand, is doing it correct. I haven't verified that, but from what I'm hearing, they're at least doing the forbearance correctly. I think Wells Fargo is also. I hope I'm not boring anybody with this. It's just that sometimes I take this stuff passionately, and I hate to see people, for one thing, I hate to see the banks win, but I hate to see people screwed over, basically. So get help, ask for help, seek out help, and seek out real legal advice, and you should be fine. It's going to be tough. It is really going to be tough. Other people that we know, most of the people that are on this chat right now know at least, a half a dozen storage auction buyers, storage auction people. Should have sent you paperwork on what they were doing. That's very true, Landshark Picker, but most of the people, a lot of people don't know to ask for the paperwork. You have to ask for it. That's terrible. See, that's ridiculous, Myra. That is just ridiculous. What was I saying? I'm sorry. These storage auction people now are saying that these storage auction companies are now going to be able to release and start auctioning off these units. If you have a unit that's in the rears of payment because of what happened, a friend of mine back home has 2 storage units. Now, he has been working through this whole thing. His business was deemed essential, so he has been working. But let's say you haven't, and that's a bill, that's $200, $300 you couldn't pay. Seek out help for that. Don't just, because there could be your whole life's history in that storage unit. And you don't want to lose it for something that was out of your control. out of your control, an act of God, not something you did on purpose, like, hey, I'm having a party and I'm not paying any of my bills. I'm just going to sign on a lease on a Lambo or whatever, and I'm going to drive around the country and never pay another bill again. That's fraud and whatever, you know. This is out of your control. This is something that happened that's out of your control. So you got to seek out real help. And like I said, I hope I am not boring anybody with this. I appreciate everybody for coming in. Please hit the thumbs up for me. Hope you're all subscribed to my channel. Now let me show you, if anybody has any questions on that, pop them in. Definitely pop them in. I know I spoke about this before, and now it seems to be, I know I was on Donna's auction the other day. They were raising some funds for Kimmy that was going to be evicted. And, you know, I hate to see that happen to anybody. The last time this happened, the home right next door to me in my old, where I lived in Kissimmee, I used to, because I specialized in short sales, I got the report, you know, of what, who just got served. And I said, well, this is like, I thought it was my address for a minute. And I said, wait a minute, this is so-and-so next door. Let me go ask him. Went over there and say, hey, this is what I do. Can I help? There's no need to leave your house. Let me help you. Doesn't cost you a dime. The bank will pay me. How can I help you? Stay in your house and we'll deal with this together. Oh, no, I got somebody on it. Okay, I'm just telling you, I'm here for you. I only live right next door. I know what to do. I've helped 1,600 families in the last couple of years. I can do it. No, I got somebody helping me. Somebody helping him. 3 months later, I come home from the office one day. Everything is out on the street, on the curb, all their belongings. And there's a mass of people going through everything. You know, they I don't know what happened. They didn't know what they were doing or whatever. And I don't know. Same thing here in this community. 3 or 5 doors down, the people left because they couldn't pay. And I said, you don't have to leave your house. Stay in there. The last time, one of the last times I helped somebody, they stood in their house for 2 years without making a payment. Granted, they did have to leave eventually, but as long as we gave them the bank back the house, they gave him a check for $1,300 for the keys. And all we had to do was give the house back broom swept. He didn't make a payment for 2 years. Is it right? No, I make my payments every month. So, but I'm just telling you, don't do anything rash like that. I can't pay. The bank's going to foreclose. Let's get out. You know how much money you could save, even if somebody was able to get you to stay in your house for 6 months more without making a payment, and you saved that money diligently. That's a good down payment for another apartment or something. Because if you foreclose, you're not going to be able to get a house for another 12 months. That's right. People do need to get a job or some kind of work. That's right, Penny. So let me show you. So anyway, what's been going on? That happened, and lately it's coming down to, you know, July 1st, it's going to blow up again. You're going to see a lot more stuff going on because now another payment is due. And it's going to, as July 1st comes and then July 15th, your typical grace period end, you're going to start seeing this more and more, you know. That's right. Landshark Picker hit it right there. People don't want to go to work because they make more in unemployment. That's happening in Florida here. There's a couple of restaurants. that cannot reopen because their employees don't want to go back to work because they're making more staying home. That's not right either, because now these people are going to have to close their business. I don't know if the banks got bailout this time, Myra. I really don't know. I don't think so. There's supposedly another stimulus check coming to everybody. Well, maybe not everybody this time, but they finally settled on it today. So there might be another stimulus check coming, but so what will that make it? 2 checks in 2 months or 3 months? $600 a week ends July 31st. I'm not getting $600 a week. Anyway, let me just go on a little. So that happened. The pandemic happened, and then the shooting and the riots. We're living the 60s back over again. I don't understand all that stuff. And I'm just going to give you my thoughts on it. History is history. You can't rewrite it, and you can't make it go away. It's not like we're going to start President number 1 was Lincoln and forget about everything that happened before that. I understand that you're upset. We dealt with that in the 20s, and then we dealt with it again in the 60s. I grew up in the 60s. I remember it. But damn, this, 2020, we're still dealing with this. That's just me. Anyway, so I went in. I haven't been around doing too many auctions. I did one a couple of weeks ago. Thank you, everybody that came and bid and had a good time. Everybody's stuff is out. I had an ablation done in my neck. The first thing they had to do is do a temporary ablation. This is your nerve. They put a block to block. If this is going to your brain, the pain is blocked from going to the brain. Because to tell you the truth, I've had a migraine headache every single day for the last 3.5 to 4 years. I have, Krista Goose, how you doing? I have 3 herniated discs pressing against my spinal cord, but they feel that the nerves were causing the headaches. So the nerve block, they felt worked. And let me just break into this for a second. I'm going to have Krista Goose on. I'm going to go back and start doing my 4 o'clock show again in July. And I want to have Chris on because Sandy and I, as a lot of you know, we sold our vacation rental home that we had in Kissimmee because I had it booked from January to the end of July. Book solid, no problems. March came, the second week in March, the world ended, no international flights, everybody canceled. So I lost all those bookings because now international flights are not going to start up until supposedly the 20th of July. So I told Sandy, I says, well, we want to go home anyway, Massachusetts. Now's a good time to sell it. So I put it on the market and had to take it off because you couldn't do any showings or whatever because of the virus thing. So I took it off for a few weeks. It lightened up a little, got a contract. Anyway, we had to do an estate sale because everybody that looked at the house wanted it for themselves and not as a short-term rental. So we had to do an estate sale. OMG. I don't know how these people like Chris do an estate sale at people's house every week. It's incredible. The amount of work that goes into it. You have to gather everything up, put it in lots or whatever, price everything, do this, do that. It's like, oh my God, it's crazy. So I'm going to talk to Chris about that hopefully sometime in July. Hopefully, Florida won't be shut down again. They're already talking about that because we're the hotbed again of the virus. And even to do the estate sale a couple of weeks ago, we had to put the county things on the door. You have to come in with a mask. And now it's mandatory when you go out. You have to have your mask on, all this stuff. And anyway, so I went in for the temporary block. They said it worked. So last Thursday, I went in and they do an ablation, what they call an ablation. So I guess it's a radio frequency that actually, so if this is your nerve, it burns it apart. Literally burns it apart. So that's supposed to end the pain from going to your brain. They did the right side, and that's why it's still all numb. And then in 2 weeks, I go in for the left side. But next week, I have to go in for another virus test because the results are only good for 30 days. So I get to get something shoved up my nose again. So today's like the best I've felt in the last couple of weeks. And as you can guess, my mail has been stacking up and going my emails. I had like 400 emails. I'm going through, and so I get this. This is from the Florida Department of Business and Professional Regulation. All right. Dear licensee, in an effort to serve you better, the department, blah, 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 has initiated investigation on an online complaint received by our office on your license for Antonelli Enterprises, LLC. The alleged complaint is about online auction sales of merchandise without a valid state of Florida auctioneer license. You will receive a copy of this complaint in the mail if you have not done so already. You are required to call this office within 10 days. Receipt of this notice in reference to the claim, blah, blah, blah. Please contact us and have a nice day, blah. So I, like somebody said, I have a habit, maybe an aura, maybe of just pissing people off when I shouldn't. I don't know. I tell people that, hey, I'm going to start at a lower price and give you free shipping, or not free shipping. I'm going to give you shipping at the end, and maybe some other places don't like that. I tell everybody I'm going to invoice you the next day, and I will, if you pay it, then I'll get it right out. Hi, Mary, thanks for coming. And some people don't like that. I guess people don't like competition is maybe what it comes down to. So what do? Instead of saying, hey, why don't we just get together and all, because ever since this virus, we have to admit, there has been an influx of people selling online auction format. 99% of which are not licensed. So instead of getting everybody together and saying, hey, let's get together and let's figure out a way to do this correctly and professionally. No, I'm just going to go and report you. F you. I don't like the way you do it. I don't like you anymore. I'm going to report you. Report me. I don't give anything. Report me, because I already called the DBPR. I said, listen, I'm a licensed broker, real estate broker. I do not have an auctioneer's license. The increase in activity for an online auction sales has become very hot. This is what I do. This is a copy, or this is the address to one of my auctions on YouTube. I said 99% of these things that I do are all on YouTube. Here is my channel. Here is my Department of Revenue payments, my tax, sales tax. That's the other thing. Oh, you include sales tax in the amount. Yes, you can't do that. I've done it now for 10 years, 20 years. Now you're telling me I can't do it? Oh, you could never do that. So I gotta do something about that anyway. So I said, here's everything you need. Well, a month and a week later, they finally emailed me back and saying, thank you very much for submitting the requested information to our office. You are fine. No other license is needed. The reason I did that, this is when I was back with Donna and T. I was nervous. I was always nervous because I'm a licensed real estate broker. It's a $5,000 fine to do unlicensed sales like that. Now, for somebody else, I think it's a $500 or $750 fine, but I'm licensed as a real estate broker. If I do something else, it's a $5,000 fine. I don't want to pay $5,000 for something stupid. So I used to tell T all the time, I'm nervous. And she says, don't be. So I asked. She says, no, I'm in New York. There's no need. So when I asked, I said, well, the person that calls, this is how far back it went. The person that acts as auctioneer that calls it is in New York. Doesn't make a difference. Why? Whose item is it? Who owns the item? I do. Where is it going to ship from? You or New York? I says, okay. End of discussion. And that's it. Black and white. End of discussion. So that's what it comes down to. So yeah, have I been a little irritable today and a little upset? Are you reported them? I haven't reported anybody. No, this just happened today. Thank God I got it early. I called, but now it's still going to take weeks to go back and forth. Who reported you? Can you say? I wish. But every time you do a complaint, it's anonymous. You don't have to put your name. The only time you should put your name, and who is this with? There's one office, if you suspect something, there's a reward of $1,500 you could get. I forget which office it is, but it's not for unlicensed activity, I don't think. It's something else. Yes, I forget what it is. There's a $1,500 reward, but then you have to put your name and all your information, and then they follow up with it. And then if the person is prosecuted, which could take 3 years, you get the reward. So anyway, that's. I just wanted to tell you people about that. Of what's going on. I know some people, I've been in the chats every once in a while when I can. I'll go in, hey, how you doing? What's happening? Last night I was in an auction and Kelly outbid me and I said, come on, Kelly. And there was like silence. And I says, oh shit, I shouldn't have said anything. I said, this morning I was on another chat with her, and I said, "Hey Kelly, I'm sorry if I, ticked you off." I said it was the codeine talking. But then I backed out anyway of the auction. With not that I needed anything. You don't even know your accuser or the transaction. No. I don't have to know the transaction, Mary, because, man, since August, how many auctions have I been on? More than a dozen, maybe less than 50. Hey, Swamp Picker, how are you? So, I just wanted to come on and tell everybody that the first thing that I really wanted to get across, not about me, I'll handle me, but if anybody's in this predicament where you thought you did a forbearance and June 1st you got your mortgage payment and it says 3 bills, no, KT. If they're expecting 3 payments, you need to get help ASAP. Help ASAP. You got to talk to people. Free legal advice is just calling around for an attorney's office that offers a free consultation. That way you'll get real legal advice. You don't want to take advice from Harry at the grocery store or Mary at the nail place that just reopened or whatever. You need legal advice. It's like you wouldn't go to the gym and ask somebody, gee, I'm feeling sick. Do you think I should take something? Or, I'm making an example, but you get the drift. The other thing about me is I'm hoping they're in the background. And the other thing, let me get another thing out there. Since I'm laying it on the line, a lot of people don't know what happened, why I'm not on with T and Donna anymore. A lot of people have speculated about that. Yes, yep, very true, Myra. Very true. A lot of money. Something happened. I was with somebody else, and it might have been just bad timing. We were in Mr. Buys a Lot buying some posters. I actually bought 3 posters for my son, had them shipped up to him at that auction, and we were just a couple of minutes late for the auction, and maybe it was bad timing. T was upset, and that was it. And so I reached out to Donna just the other day, and I says, and I put it. It was in. We were in. Oh, where were we? We were on somebody's chat, and I wanted to do it publicly so nobody could say, "Oh, he said this. Oh, he said that." I said, "Do you ever think you and T could forgive me? Because I don't hold a grudge against anybody. I don't stay mad at anybody at all. I used to tell people, person, because well, if you have this person in your auction, I'm not going to do your auctions with you anymore. I said, are you going to die with that hate? You can't stay mad at people your whole life. You ever heard of an olive branch? Second chance? Whatever. Give it a break. How can anybody stay mad at anybody forever? My old saying used to be, hey, I lose one friend today, I make 2 new ones tomorrow. But so Donna actually responded. She says, as far as I'm concerned, we're friends. I thought that would be the way, because I'm not being racist or anything, but Italian people usually do that. I guess that's why I'm like this, because I don't stay mad at anybody. I don't hate anybody. There's people I don't understand. I don't associate with them. That's right. Forever is a long time. But I have to reach out to T and say, I'm going to put it out there and I apologize and whatever. So that's it. I just like I said, this thing that I got today, yeah, I'm going to start. I have an idea. I think there was only it's got to be only one of three people that did it. Yeah, see, that's it. I can't remember who I was mad at. So were you actually really mad? And it's true. Nerves are shot right now. But to get mad at somebody because I don't know, I go on and somebody says, "Oh, well, now so and so's on, so I'm going to lose all my crowd." Man, I can remember Sandy and me on the couch, two iPads, and the phone and the TV watching four different things, four different auctions. Will you stop shaking? Damn you. Um, People do it all the time. And I mean, now there's more and more and more. There are no friends at the auction, Land Shark Picker. Very true. It's fun though too, but I mean, there is still some auctions that I'm confused about. What, Cindy? There's auctions out there that shouldn't be on either. They should not be on. I try to maintain myself professional because it is my business. I want to do it the right way. I want to be professional about it. I want to ship right away. I don't want to hold on to things. I want to make sure people get invoiced because it's a business. And from my point of view, it's my final business. This is it. It's my end. Most of us tramp around. Well, I appreciate you all being here listening to me rant. Sorry if I ticked anybody off. Anybody has any questions, put them in here. Put them in the chat. I wish that I made enough money on the auction that I could pay to have a moderator, pay to have like somebody like Mama G or whatever, or one of the people that I don't know if anybody's in here that moderates. I just don't make enough to do that. So the last auction I did it all by myself. Showed it, wrote it down, put it in the box, got the next one, showed it, put it down, put it, over and over and over again. It worked fine. People got some great deals and stuff. Will you keep doing auctions? Yes, I will. Because I called the Florida Board of Licensed Auctioneers and I said, listen, I got this. But then I have this. I got that letter from the DBPR, Division of Business and Professional Regulation, that said, I'm good to go. I gave them all my information. I'm fine. And she said, I would hold on to that and use that. She says, as long as they said that, you're fine. I try not to take other people into consideration when I'm bidding. Yes, I mean, I understand that. Mary. And I think, Mary, it's like that because, and I'm sure we can all notice that you go to an auction, you go to mine, you go to Donna's, you go to T's, 80% of the people that are in there, if not more. You go to Wade's or Grimes, you may know 10% of the people that are in there. You know what I mean by that? So you might be chat buddies with more, but then you may be just somebody else in another. I know that's a bad analogy, but I think it's because, and some of you girls, ladies, the way you talk on Dawn is just, it makes me blush and stuff. And like Bobby said, tramping around, and then the other one's working the corner and all that. And I don't understand how you could do that with each other, but you do. I laugh sometimes, but it's like, you really say that? It is. It's a family affair. It's a friend's night out. It's like a poker game that used to happen every Friday night or something. Or what did the ladies used to play? Canasta? They would get together every week. That's 2020's night out. Night out. Every night out. Thank you, Sharon. Oh, I'm not going to stop. I am not going to stop. I'm actually, well, since that happened, a friend of mine here locally is an auctioneer, and I'm doing my first high bid auction. If you've never seen high bid, you should go on to high bid and check it out, because if you're not, everybody needs to source new stuff. A lot of people, that's where they come to the auctions for, is so they can source to get stuff to sell. Money from Mars loves high bid. High bid and Max Sold. Check out Max Sold. Max Sold, MAXSOLD. It's not that popular here in the States yet. It's a Canadian company. I've actually used it once, but man, you could get stuff for a steal. My son got theater seats, theater recliners with the subwoofer in the bottom of every seat for $1. And he bought 5 of them. The guy said, I don't care if you take them all. Because it was too big, nobody bid on them. So he threw them in the back of his truck, went home. Big screen TV for $20. I'm just making examples of prices. But people need to move, and they don't want to give the estate sale people 35%. So they'll go to Max Sold and do it themselves. They're not saving that much, but they'll do it themselves. So we are going to have to pay taxes now on stuff we buy. From me, I'm going to keep it the way I'm doing it. If I have to separate it out on my invoices, I will. But until I get a firm... Yes, Melissa Cape. Yes. I just like the jewelry and clothes, not a reseller. Yeah, I got a case of brand new shirts, graphic tees that I've been hoarding. Well, not hoarding. I just haven't been on to sell them yet. maxsold.com. highbid.com. My auction for high bid should be up in a week. I'll have some stuff that can't be shipped because I have a 3-foot tall casino slot machine type thing, Japanese one. I'll have one of those, and it's like 300 to 400 pounds, so definitely can't ship that. But I have some other stuff. I'll have some older stuff. I'll have some toys. I put some wrestling figures in. Ton of stuff. Ton of stuff. Right, Sharon. And I think that's the other reason for the longest time since all that happened. I figured, let me just do my own thing and stay away and just build it myself. Um, you know, because I don't get into the drama. I don't get into all that. I just like to have a good sale, give people some good merchandise, um, so I can make some money, pay my bills, and move on. But while I'm on here, I do have. Is anyone into Mad Men or Desperate Housewives? I think I have every season on DVD that I need to get rid of. Hi, Kane. And thanks everybody for coming in. If you could hit the thumbs up for me, I would appreciate it. It is better to have your own sandbox. It is. I mean, I do miss having people to talk with and stuff. Even when I was on, a lot of you don't know, I did my own radio show in Orlando here for real estate. And if the producer, my board op, wasn't able to talk to me, I would have a guest on, a mortgage person, an insurance person, or whatever, and we would, the phone calls would come in, of course, and we would talk to people. I'm looking for Ty first Walking Dead episodes. The first Walking Dead episodes. Don't have that. I know I have Mad Men. I think I have, I don't know, several seasons of Mad Men. I have Desperate Housewives. I have a stack of DVDs. The only reason I'm asking is because I'm already putting a ton up on HiBid, and I don't want it to be, hey, Jennifer Hayes, how are you? I don't want it to be all DVDs. So I was going to go on. I actually wanted to go on and try to do a sale Sunday night, and I couldn't. I was just in too much pain. But if anybody's interested, Mad Men, Desperate Housewives. I do have a bunch of DVD. The DVDs I have 90. So in order to do an auction on YouTube, you need to be licensed auctioneer. Technically, yes. I don't have Babylon 5. No, that used to be a good series. You got to check. Everybody should check their state rules. Like everybody should check the latest news and rules on your loan payback and that type of stuff to the banks because of the COVID. Check to see if you need a license to do an auction. You got to be careful though, because in Florida, there's a gray area because 90% of the law is for the sale of real estate. I am not selling real estate by auction. So that's why it's, like I said, it's a gray area. And from what I understand too, every state is working on new rules and regulations for merchandise sales, online merchandise sales, or what do they call it? International or interstate. I forget what the phrase is. Merchandise sales. It's because of the virus blow up. Everybody's home. Oh, they will be, Mary. They will be. But then again, eventually this thing's going to stop. Hopefully. I mean, I know it's getting bad here again, and the governor's talking about shutting down the state again, because everybody's saying, well, you opened it up too fast. So eventually they'll come up with an inoculation, whatever they call it. Somebody help me out. Flu shot, you get a flu shot, you'll get a virus shot. And hopefully that'll get it under control. Immunization, thank you. But they're saying that that's still months away, and by the time August and September comes out, we're probably going to get hit again with more cases. Florida's like rocking right now, 800 to 1,000 more cases every day the last 3 days. They showed picture because Universal Studios opened last week. Will you stop shaking, you damn camera? A vaccine. They showed a picture of Universal Studios Volcano Bay. People were arm in arm to get on one of the rides. It's crazy. I mean, nobody's wearing a mask. They're just like, oh, we gotta get in, gotta get in. It was pretty bad. And then they say, well, and now Disney's already delayed their theme. They were supposed to open in 2 weeks. Now it's 3 weeks. And the employees are asking them, don't open, please. You see what's happening at Universal. Please don't open. I don't know if you're seeing that on your news over there, but we're getting it every day. So, yeah, things like that. It's nuts. It is nuts. I mean, this is what, the first time second time in history something like this has happened. Probably in most of the people here in our lifetimes, this is the first for us. Just have to make the best of it. But yeah, it's going to be a long time before I fly. And I asked Sandy, I said, you want to go out to a restaurant? She says, nope. Be a long time before I go into a restaurant again. I said, okay. But she she tells me what happens at the airport and stuff all the time. And it's like, I am not flying again for a long time. West Virginia, for another state to sell somewhere in West Virginia, supposed to have a W license. Yep. I know. It's hot as hell in those costumes. Is Florida allowing folks driving in from New York? Yeah, flipping frozen. Now it's the other way. Now they get stopped in New York if they're coming from Florida to what do they call it? Buckle down for 2 weeks. Self-quarantine for 2 weeks. Oh, you're from Florida. Yep. It used to be, oh, you're from New York. All right. Where you going? All right. Stay there for 2 weeks. Don't leave the house. Okay. Oh. Well, New York is not the hotbed anymore, Melanie. Now Florida is. Florida has, every time Florida becomes number one for something, it's usually not for anything good. Well, except the theme park capital of the North America, whatever. Right. Yes, Mick. You missed it. You'll have to review. Mick, you're not into Mad Men or Desperate Housewives, are you? I have a bunch of box sets I need to sell. Yes, going up South Shore to Boston the other day, many signs stating out-of-state visitors urged to quarantine for 14 days. Things are getting better here because it's been strict. Yep. I'm supposed to be up there, Melissa, in August. Mad Men, yes, I have all the seasons of I have two, but I'm looking to sell them. Is Tamara in here or anybody interested in linens? Because I still have a ton of linens. They just kept us down for another 4 weeks. Swamp Picker. Yeah, they're definitely, this is, granted, this is a new thing, a new event. And a lot of people don't know how to take care of it or don't know what to do with it. I'm glad I'm not in public office and you got something like this that came up and you got to deal with it. It's not like you need a new traffic light in the city. No, you got to shut down the city. It's new. How do you deal with things like that? You tell a business person, you can't make any money now. You have to shut down. Oh, that's another thing. GameStop is closing a lot of locations, so keep your eyes open. Some good deals out there, I heard. Hey, Junkin Data Girl, how are you? If you missed, you probably did miss anyway, what I was talking about. Just rewind. I'm hearing a lot of stuff about, you know, forbearance and stuff like that. And I wanted to give people some good information or tell people that they really need to seek out some, yes, Mick, they really need to seek out some real legal advice. And then something about a complaint that I got, but you could review. So that was it. I didn't plan on selling anything. Like I said, I do know I have those 2 boxes full of DVDs over there that I do want to sell. I have been the last 2 days. It's been tough because I'm not feeling that great. But this high bid auction, I'm really going to give it a shot because at least that way too. The good thing about high bid is I'm under an auctioneer. He's taking, it's under his license basically, so I don't have to worry about that. That's the other thing with high bid. Great place to buy, great place to source from, but to do an auction, you have to be an auctioneer or under an auction. Thank you, Jennifer. Me too. Today's the best since Thursday. Still numb at the injection points. So how will we find your stuff? I'm going to promote the hell out of it because I know my people will want to see it, what I'm putting out. So I'm going to promote the hell out of it on my channels and everything. I'll give you as soon as it's active with them, I will, I'll let you know and I'll say, here's the link. And when I do my next auction, which I don't know when it will be, I'm hoping that I got your DVD wallet the other day, quite a few in there that I don't have. Excellent. What if the complaint you got was not true? She changed it. Who changed it? What if the complaint you got was not true? She changed it. Who changed it, Nance? Because it came from the Florida Department of Business and Professional Regulation. It came early and I just forwarded it to myself so it would be right there so I could grab it and show everybody. But the other thing is, they can't tell you if it's anonymous. If they put in the complaint like who they were and what it was, like, hey, he sold me this, he totally ripped me off, this is what it was, he does not have a license, I want something done. Yeah, then they put their name and everything, and then we go to mediation and deal with it. Yes, Mick. But I don't know what's going to come of right now. I just had to call and say, listen, as far as you people told me, I'm good. I'm good to go. I have your approval in writing, and here it is. So I'm waiting for them now to get back to me and say, oh, we are very sorry. unless it's going to go the other way and say, well, upon further investigation, I don't think that's going to happen, but who knows? And the excuse we get, well, we're on a skeleton crew because you know what's going on. Yeah, I know everything that's going on. The world's upside down right now. But I'm still going to do, I called the Florida board, the Florida Board Association of Auctioneers, something. It's a long title. I called them and they said, well, we don't get the complaints. But I said, but I have this. Well, she says, that's golden in my book. She says, you don't have a problem with me with that. Keep it somewhere safe. I said, it's on my desktop. Excuse me. So anyway, how is everybody else doing? You heard a lot from me and nothing from you. A lot from me and nothing from you. Nope. Don't want to share the screen. Thank you, Skywatcher. Hopefully you got your stuff okay. I put a link in if anybody wants to come in and chat live with us. I don't care. I can take up to 6 people. I don't care if anybody wants to come in. Still waiting on a package to get here. Ooh. Although I told you what happened when I bought something from Adam. Now, Adam's in North Carolina. I'm in Florida. I ordered something from him. I went to Detroit, Michigan, stayed there for a week, went to Virginia, and then came to Florida. That was crazy. But from what, that's the other thing, too, that I heard. Everybody's using Pirate Ship. Pirate Ship has been cracking down on packages or something. People are having their packages open that say they're media mail and they're not really media mail, and they're asking the customer on the other end to pay the difference. Love my tablecloths. Excellent. Excellent. Thank you. And the popcorn. Cool. I hope they all get caught. Mick, I think Adam is just he only has like one employee in each store, and I think he's doing everything himself. I think, anyway. I don't think he's still open to the public, and he's doing everything himself. Guinness Stout. Oh, I could never. That's that real thick beer, right? And they drink it warm? I think when we went to the UK once, I had a sip, and that was all I could take. And I asked the pub guy, I says, what's your best American beer that you have? And he says, well, the only one we have is Budweiser. He says, but that's because it's brewed here. I was okay, give me that. So if anybody wants to come in, feel free, come in. PayPal's cracking down on money requests from friends that aren't really friend money. Yeah, I think it's because there's more online sales. So we're using these platforms more. We're using Pirate Ship more. We're using PayPal more. I mean, even at the estate sale, I did a PayPal payment because it was easy. So I think that's what it is. We're using these platforms more. And except eBay, everybody heard about the scam at eBay, right? They did this stuff to the people in Natick, Massachusetts. Sent them all kinds of stuff, tried to put a GPS on their car. because they were saying bad things about eBay, and then people were saying, "Oh, my sale's been dead ever since the story came out." So I don't sell much on eBay anymore. The whole story came out about eBay. There's, what is it, e-commerce something. It's a newsletter, and the husband and wife that run it are in Natick, Massachusetts. They've been running it for years and years. And when something's wrong, they talk about it. Like half the other YouTube show, e-commerce bites. Thank you, Landshark. Like, all the other half the other YouTube channels talk about it. eBay sucks because they did that. eBay sucks because they did this. But I guess they were maybe too critical about them. And eBay said, well, you should take it down. We're not going to take it down. And excuse me. And then they started to harass them. Not as eBay, but they started to harass them. And then 6 people got indicted, and I guess the CEO still has not said anything about it. So I don't know. My first thing was, I don't want to be associated with that. People were saying I'm not proud to say I'm an eBay seller anymore. That's for sure. It's been pretty quiet on the front about that now, but I have noticed somebody put Macari is dead, but I have noticed a couple of Poshmark and Macari ads on TV now. It's like all of a sudden, which is tubers that badmouth. We all know tubers that badmouth eBay. Yeah, I mean, it's it gets viewers, I guess. It's kind of like clickbait. They need hours. I mean, I need hours too, but I'm not going to say, eBay killed me or whatever, and whatever happened. Oh, the new CEO did make a couple of public announcements, because I have not heard. And I usually listen to all the news stations. But yeah, So nobody wants to come in. What's worse, jailbait or clickbait? Well, jailbait will get you, was it 20 years? Clickbait will get you 20 thumbs down. All right, Flippin' Frozen, thank you for coming in. Like I said, I just wanted to come in. If you know anybody, too, everybody, I'm not asking if anybody's in the predicament, whatever, of owing 3 or 4 late mortgage payments or whatever. If you know anybody or hear anybody, tell them. Find an attorney that'll give you free legal advice. Look at the local county or city hall website and see what they have for information. There's help out there. There's definitely help out there. Don't just do nothing. Doing nothing is the worst thing you could do. Anytime doing nothing is the worst thing you can do. It's like putting your head in the sand. So I can't talk anybody into Mad Men or Desperate Housewives, not even for $2 a set. All right, Mick. Money for Mars. Never been live. Seems scary, Paul. Why? Why does that? Why does it seem scary? You mean lie? Oh, no, it's not. It's just like talking to one of your friends. It's like doing a FaceTime with your buddies or your family. I do have Blu-rays. Um, it's it's no, I mean I've been on TV back home, and I would tell people that are supposed to go on with me. It's like, don't worry, there's only a million people on the other side of that camera. I tried to, Bobby. I tried. Thank you very much, though. Thank you. Well, hey, I'm going to start doing my show on. It was supposed to be 4 o'clock. It was supposed to start this month, and I had to go in for these. I've been into the doctors more than anything lately. So I'm hoping to start it and be consistent about it for July. I'm going to start asking more guests to come on and just talk with me. It's going to be 4 o'clock Monday through Friday in the afternoon. I already made a logo for it. I want to start. Thank you, KT. I want to start lining up some guests. Like I said, I wanted to talk to Chris the Goose because we did our estate sale. And man, I don't know how anybody could do it week after week after week. It's worse than listing on eBay, and it's a lot more work. Um, I'm not sure, Chris, because now I have to go in for the left side, I think, on that day. I don't think we actually set a day. But man, my hat's off to you and your business partner. I don't know how the hell you do it week after week, if you do them week after week, because it's a damn lot of work. And I couldn't imagine doing it in the house that I live in. We did it on a rental house that didn't have stuff, a ton of stuff. Hey, Don Bargain Hunter, how are you? And I'm telling you, we were there 3 days, morning till night. And then you have to watch the people when they're taking the beds out. Oh, don't hit the wall because then we have to paint the wall and, all this other stuff. But anyway, we'll set a date, Chris. We definitely will set a date. But it's just something I. And the other, does anybody know an expert in marbles? Because I've been fascinated wanting to talk to someone about marbles. There is no manufacture date on a marble. You ever notice that? You ever wonder that? How do you know what's a new marble and what's an old marble? Things that make you say, So if anybody could put me in touch with a marble expert, like what's the difference in sizes of marbles? Why are some marbles held together with a string? Oh, that's one thing too. I'm imagining the thumbnail image I'm going to do when I talk to an expert about marbles. I have lost them and someone has found them. Will you stop shaking? Knockers. Oh, you remember those? The two balls with the ring held by the string, and you used to just do like this and they would clack together. Those were cool. Those were, man, you couldn't have those today. That's for sure. Then one time after they were out for a couple of years, they made them where they would coat them and they would spark when you did it. Clackers, they would spark. And then all of a sudden, after using them and you wore out all that spark. It's like yo-yos. I love yo-yos. I was never good at yo-yos, but I have one here somewhere. I love The butterfly was my favorite. It's very cool talking to you guys. I'm so happy you're here and talking with me and stuff. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. This has got my mood a lot better. And you ever notice that when you think of something else, you forget about pain? So it does work. But yeah, marbles. I want to talk to somebody about marbles. And yeah, yo-yos was one of my favorites. But I will, excuse me, I will be sending an email out. I'll do an email. And you guys want a sneak peek of what my the show logo looks like? I think I have one on my desktop I could show if you're interested. It's nothing super spectacular. Let me see here. I know I asked people for assistance in helping me come up with a name for the show, and the one that everybody liked, of course, was Licensed. And I wasn't into getting into a copyright problem, but I wanted something that would incorporate everything that we usually talk about. So lately, people are into pops heavily. So I popped myself, and I'm just going to call it Buying, Selling, and Collecting with Paul Antonelli. So that's it. I just, I just wanted to whip something up quick. I didn't want to. Thank you. I didn't want to go nuts with it, although it took me a few hours to do that. Thank you. So that's what it's going to be. We're going to talk about buying, sourcing, all that stuff. We're going to talk about selling and collecting, and I guess some of the things that I do all the time, as you can see, been collecting for years and years. So once again, everybody, thank you very much for being here, and watch for my email. Hopefully you're all on my email list. If not, after the video is done, put your put a comment in the video, say add me to your email list, and I will add you. And it's just, I don't want to spam anybody. I'm hoping to get like one bi-weekly that'll tell you what shows are coming up, when I might do an auction, and who's going to be the guest on what show, things like that. And like I said, I don't want to spam anybody. Won't be an email a day, that's for sure. And that's about it. So I want to thank everybody again for coming in and spending some time with me. And tomorrow, just email me, let me know. It is supposed to be a Funko. You know, they want $200 to do one Funko of yourself. A little bit too pricey for me. So thank you, everybody, and subscribe, and I will see you on the airwaves soon. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for the well wishes. Thank you.